In our journey to learn more with AI or ChatGPT here, especially learning biomechanics, I designed something quite cool here. Have a look. I said to ChatGPT, let's create an engaging game to learn biomechanics, and which is going to be interactive learning as well. So I assumed quite a lot of things like the role of a teacher. So the ChatGPT is a researcher and teacher in this game. It's going to guide me through tasks and challenges to learn. And the objective is it will be enjoyable to learn and solid understanding of biomechanics. Sorry. So we progress through a task and answering questions. So the instructor will evaluate and grade responses, and there will be feedback to gauge the progress and then define area of improvement, and tailoring the quest task based on the responses and grading, and gradually, improving it. Grasp the fundamental concepts, aim for higher scores. So you can see here, it's called Biomechanic Quest, or Journey of Learning and Discovery. And it tells me the detail of it, introduction, just a little bit I told you, game overview, like character creation, by creating a unique teacher and research avatar, etc., etc. This is a text-based, so this can be done maybe in the future or maybe ChatGPT 4. Starting the journey. So this is the way we go. Like the students will accompany the AI, and their progress will be evaluated. And the challenges we discuss, talking about different things. You can actually define what you want to learn, but here is just a basic I just provided, like biomechanics, kinematic, dynamic, etc., etc. Then the question responses, tailoring learning, and scoring is we would like to be collaborative and competitive, and research and discovery will be involved. And of course, you can do it here, but it could be eventually virtual lab and final evaluation. So it's going to tell me that, oh, we're going to score you based on 1 to 10, 10 being the best, and let's just learn it. Say, okay, let's just learn it, and say, oh, that's great. Let's just go ahead and say, okay, I'm ready. And I start the first one. So I say, fantastic, let's just begin to learn. So we want to learn introduction to kinematic. And it's just explaining a little bit, that's to understand the basic of kinematic, and involve analyzing motion and related concepts. So ask a question. The question, what's the difference between speed and velocity? I just say something, here, I think speed and velocity is the same. And they say, oh, thank you. But speed here is talking about like magnitude and direction. Speed has to do with magnitude and velocity, not like both magnitude and direction. And then it just gives me 4 out of 10. I failed here. And gives me some introduction, like a nice explanation and evaluation, and the next task about Newton's law, for instance, law of motion. Was the first law of motion? I said, oh, I think this is it. If you go on, you can go on. If there's no force, I say, oh, thank you, and just keeps talking about like what it means, the first law of motion, and gives me 6 out of 10 for that one. And you can see like biomechanical systems, you can just keep reading this. It's so amazing. I'm just giving an example, but you can come up with any concepts that you have in mind and start learning that. You want to learn Python, you want to learn biomechanics, you want to learn some math concepts or whatever concept it is. If you have a really nice game design here, you can think about it, you can actually work around that several times, and then it will create a nice one. So the question here was, how do muscles and bone work in to produce movement in the body? I just say something here, and they say, oh, great job. Gives me what, 9 out of 10. And just keeps going and asks me another question. And I say, oh, why 9 out of 10? I'm just explaining. I say, why is that? And then tells me why this is the case. Oh, I'm a subjective, it's not objective, etc., etc. And then I say, okay, what's the 10 and 10? What does it mean? That's, and just explain to me, this is the way that if you explain it this way, I explain it, something the structure of the muscle, discuss the type of contraction, all these details, then I'll give you a 10 out of 10. Yes, thank you. And so you're learning. This is the whole learning process. I say, let's go back to question 4. I say, this is me. And then address that one, address that question. The question was, I think here, what's the purpose of biomechanical analysis in terms of especially athletic performance? And I say, yep, it is important, and the athlete would benefit a lot. What did I say? Can benefit a lot by analyzing their muscle, joints, and how they move in the field. So great response, and goes on and discuss it quite extensively. Identifying movement pattern, performance enhancement, injury prevention, and these are the biomechanics in different areas of sport, and gives me 9 out of 10. So I think I passed to some extent, and say, okay, you want to move on, and I can just keep going forever, basically. So isn't it cool? What are you gonna learn and next using these cool systems. And by the way, I started doing it with Bard as well in Google, but it got confused at some point, so I didn't involve it here. Enjoy it and see you next time.